Dontaesboxingnation.
Dontaesboxingnation, what's going on, guys? So in a fight that was really similar to the whole Devin Haney versus JoJo situation, where JoJo, he didn't originally want to fight against Devin Haney, but because Ryan pulled out, he had no choice but to take the fight. And once JoJo took the Devin Haney fight, it's pretty much like JoJo was telling people afterwards, see y'all, this is the reason why I didn't want to fight him in the first place. And now Oscar Valdez is pretty much saying the same thing after completely getting dominated by Shakur Stevenson. I'm going to go ahead and play the clip of what Oscar Valdez said, his reaction to losing to Shakur Stevenson. And I really want you guys to pay attention to the way ESPN's reporter, Bernardo Usano, is desperately trying to make an excuse for Oscar Valdez losing to Shakur Stevenson, and yet Oscar continues to give Shakur Stevenson the credit that he deserves for the win. Bernardo, he continues to ask the same question over and over again, trying to get the answer that he wants. Check out this clip, and I'm going to go ahead and unpack everything.
The better fighter this night, that's just it.
At what moment did you try to make adjustments, and what adjustments did he counter with that didn't allow you to get through?
Like I said, just his boxing skills. He was a foot, a front, just a step back. Every time I tried to get close to him, he did what he had to do to win the fight.
We knew he was going to be elusive, his great defensive skills. In terms of his size, did you feel his power at all?
Like I said, he's a great fighter. Speed's there, his power is there. He was just a better fighter tonight. Like I said, he overall great fighter.
You had moments of success in this fight. In the 6th round, you landed more punches than anybody else ever landed on him, but it was hard to sustain. What was it about Shakur in terms of his boxing, his physique? What was it that didn't allow you to get through?
A little bit of everything. His footwork. He has great defense. Takes little risks. Like I said, he just does what he has to do to win the fight.
And in terms for you, what's the next step for you after this bitter defeat?
Continue learning. Stay with my family. Got to go back with my family, talk about this. Go with my trainer, Eddie Reynoso, and see what we have to do to improve. I don't think it's the end. I did my best tonight. It wasn't enough. And I'm just going to continue training to become world champion again.
Definitely. Eddie, si nos permites, por favor, ¿qué es lo que se le complicó tanto a Oscar de Shakur Stevenson esta noche?
Pues creo que el estilo estuvo bloqueando bien, la verdad. Lo que trae son puros raspones, no lo conectó Shakur sólido. Creo que le faltó contragolpear un poco más.
Says Shakur was a really good fighter, but he really didn't hurt him. I mean, he's got some nicks on his face, but more importantly, he blocked a lot of punches, wasn't hurt in this fight. ¿En algún momento pudiste encontrar algún ajuste para contrarrestar lo que hacía Shakur?
Sin duda, Oscar podía conectarlo, solamente que se metía, a veces no soltaba las combinaciones, bloqueaba bien los golpes, se metió a su distancia, pero no contragolpeaba. Creo que ahí fue donde se nos fue yendo la pelea, pero pues hizo su mayor esfuerzo y estoy muy orgulloso de él.
The fight was hard because when he got in range, he wasn't able to land the right hand, and that was what really, he wasn't able to counter him, and that's what really made a big difference. The knockdown, did you think that it was a knockdown?
El referee lo marcó. The referee called the knockdown. I personally think it wasn't. It was more of a slip. There was a connection, but it was on the glove. I mean, you gotta respect it. The referee, it was his choice. I don't think it was a knockdown at all.
Styles makes fight. Los estilos hacen las peleas. Saúl Álvarez está aquí presente. ¿Qué esperas de él con su pelea frente a Bivol? What do you expect from Canelo's fight against Bivol? He's here present today.
Una pelea complicada también. Y en esos niveles las peleas son complicadas. Se gana, se pierde. Mira, hoy nos tocó perder, pero hay que seguir trabajando.
Hey, I expect a great fight against Bivol. It's one of those things. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Tonight we had to lose, but nonetheless, we're going to get ourselves and pick ourselves up. 110 punches landed. That's the most punches landed against Shakur Stevenson. I know there's no moral victories, but you came out here and gave the fans a show. What was it like to have their support?
I felt great to see my people here. I just want to say I'm sorry we didn't get the victory. I wanted to take the belt back home to Mexico. We didn't get the job done, but I promise everybody that we tried hard.
Okay, now this is so ironic because before the fight, leading up to the fight, you know, the press conference, Shakur Stevenson, he did an interview, and I had my reporter that works exclusively with new media, Me and Ike TV. Me and Ike, we write down all the questions for Skip to ask. And the question I gave to Skip for Shakur Stevenson was, you believe in the sweet science, hit and not be hit, just like Lomachenko and Tyson Fury. Why is it some reporters call you boring for doing it and they don't say the same thing about Tyson Fury or Vasyl Lomachenko? It's a rhetorical question, so it doesn't even really matter what the answer is. But Shakur, he answered the question by saying, you know, some people are just biased. And then he said, look, man, they gonna make excuses every time I win. You know, they're going to probably try to say, if I beat Shakur, they're going to probably try to say that he was smaller than me. I beat Jamel Herring, and some people are going to try to say he was too old. And then almost immediately after Shakur Stevenson said that, one of the reporters, I believe it was Fight Hub, they said exactly that to Shakur Stevenson. He said, you're bigger than Oscar Valdez. You have a better reach, you're longer. And basically was saying to Shakur Stevenson, do you believe you have an advantage because of that? Now, keep in mind, guys, remember, it was Shakur that moved up to 130. Oscar Valdez had already been at 130 a lot longer than Shakur had been there. But my point is, this is exactly what Shakur Stevenson said some people would say. So you fast forward to this post-fight interview with ESPN's Bernardo Usana, and he's doing the exact same thing. Throughout the interview, he keeps trying to bring up Shakur Stevenson's size, hoping that Oscar Valdez will say, yeah, that's the reason why I lost. And by the way, before I elaborate on that point, Shakur Stevenson, he said to Fight Hub when Fight Hub said that he was bigger than Oscar Valdez, Shakur said, well, Jamel Herring, he was way bigger than me because Jamel Herring is like 5'10", and of course he has a long reach. And we've seen what the much smaller Shakur Stevenson did. Once again, moving up in weight, we've seen what he did to Jamel Herring. So back to this interview. Instead of Bernardo just saying, you know, did his power affect you? Bernardo, he says, because of his size, did his power affect you? Like basically implying the only way Shakur could have some type of power that really gets your respect is if he already has some type of massive size advantage over you. And the funny thing is, when Oscar Valdez answered the question, you could tell, I guess because of his pride, he didn't want to admit that Shakur Stevenson had power because he kind of thought about it for a minute, and then he came out and said, yeah, I definitely felt his power. And at this point, Bernardo is asking Oscar Valdez the same question over and over and over again, trying to get a different answer. He brings up the size again. He says, you know, because of his physique and everything, was that the main thing that gave you a problem in this fight? And once again, Oscar Valdez, he would never say I lost to him because of size. He said he was the better man. He said he had great defense. Matter of fact, let me run that clip back again. Check it out.
We knew he was going to be elusive, his great defensive skills. In terms of his size, did you feel his power at all?
Like I said, he's a great fighter. His speed's there, his power's there. He was just a better fighter tonight. Like I said, you know, overall, great fighter.
He's just a great fighter, Bernardo. That's what Oscar Valdez is telling this guy. We just seen Devin Haney fight Jojo Diaz. Devin Haney, he didn't beat Jojo Diaz with power. Floyd Mayweather, Floyd didn't beat fighters. He had moved up 5 weight classes. He wasn't beating these guys with his power. These guys were outweighing Floyd Mayweather by 15 to 20 pounds, and people like Bernardo Usano never gave Floyd Mayweather credit for beating the guy that was much bigger. We know what time it is at the end of the day. So with that being said, we'll see where Oscar Valdez goes from here. Just like Shakur Stevenson said, there's still belts out there for him to win eventually. Once Shakur Stevenson moves up to 135, he's definitely good enough to win some more big fights in his career and be matched up against other undefeated fighters like Shakur Stevenson, other prospects. So we'll see how it plays out. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, then this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called ScalpCarolinas Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to ScalpCarolinas.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram. Fellas, I've got some great news for you. If you've lost your hair or have a receding hairline, the time has come when you can finally get your hairline back through a process called scalp micropigmentation. So here's how it works. It's a hair tattoo that replicates the look of your hair follicles when you have fully shaved it down. So to get this hookup, make sure you follow and contact my man ScalpCarolinas on Instagram.